Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for May 17th, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. If you want to learn more about these stories, look at the show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story so you can read them for yourself. Come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know that you enjoy what we're doing here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Real quick, an announcement. The podcast is going live today. I know Thursday is usually the day. Unfortunately, my flights were all delayed. I had a hard time getting home yesterday, so today's when the podcast is going live. And we're going to be talking about the pay TV show. It's very interesting because you have a moment where Cox and Spectrum Cable executives are on stage, and then, you know, the president of Sling TV, PlayStation View, Philo, and more are all on stage. Very radically different points of views. And surprisingly, some of these cable executives either are clueless or are just straight up not being very honest. I mean, things like saying that you can't get the Pac-12 network unless you have cable was something that people said, and things like that, where I want to run on stage and say, hey, guess what? Yes, you can. The Pac-12 network is available on several services, including Sling TV. So we'll be talking about that in great depth in the weekly podcast because there are so many interesting things that happen there where you're seeing these cable executives right next to streaming executives. So check out the podcast going live today. I'll have it on YouTube and I'll have an audio version available for download through places like Apple Podcasts. All right, let's dive into the news, starting with deals of the day. First up, off bat, if you are a Prime member, the Fire TV 4K sticks are on sale for $34.99, and the regular Fire TV sticks are on sale for $24.99. This is a great deal if you're looking for a new Fire TV. Link in the show notes down below, but you have to be an Amazon Prime member to get the deal. Next story, first news story of the day. Netflix saves kids from 400 hours of commercials every year. This is according to a study that was recently completed. If you want to read the full study, link in the show notes down below. But what it did is it looked at the average number of hours kids watch TV in the United States and looked at it when going on streaming services. Now, one thing I find interesting about this is, yeah, Netflix probably does save kids from a lot of ads on things that you would see on a traditional, Nickelodeon or Disney Channel, but they're probably still getting a lot of ads through like YouTube Kids. I was wondering, do your kids watch a lot of like Netflix and stuff, the ad-free section? Have you noticed any changes in their behavior? I mean, advertising towards kids is a very lucrative, very profitable business, and it seems like they're trying to find different ways to do it. Now, Netflix and others do mean that they are having a harder time reaching them, which could be a good thing for parents. I have a 6-year-old, and I definitely know how when they see it on their tablets or they see it on the TV, it does result in them wanting it. I would love to hear, do you make decisions of what your kids can watch based on will it have ads, will it not? Is that one of the criteria you're considering? Probably not the only one, but does it play into your thought patterns? Very, very interesting topic, and I'd love to hear your opinions on it. Next up, Vidgo, which is a live TV streaming service currently offering international packages, has announced at the pay TV show this week, where I just was, that they will be launching this summer in the United States with an English version, that they will offer an English language version of Vidgo later this year. Pricing, channel lineup, and details have not been announced yet, but they are on their way. People are saying, oh man, one more, why do we want this? This isn't good. At worst case, it's not bad for cord cutting. I'm very excited about T-Mobile TV, Vidgo, and others trying to get into the cord cutting space because this puts pressure on the existing providers. Not all live TV services are going to make it. Not all cord cutting services are going to make it. The great thing about cord cutting is the best will rise to the top and the bad ones will fall to the bottom. Because with no contracts and no limitations, it's very easy for you to say, hey, you know what? There is something better out there than what I'm paying for now. It takes maybe 10 minutes to cancel, takes 10 minutes to sign up for the new service, and just like that, you have a maybe cheaper service. Maybe it's the same price, but it offers more channels or maybe a feature you want, a better DVR. Maybe it's just better customer service. A lot of cord cutters say, hey, customer service is a big part of what they consider when picking a streaming service. My question to you is, which services do you think will rise to the top? Is it, maybe something new like Vidgo are you very excited about? Is it YouTube TV, Sling TV, PlayStation View? Leave me a comment, let me know. I'll love to hear from you, but I'm very interested. This idea that we have too many streaming services, I think is kind of one of those arguments cable tries to come up with. And we just saw that only 10% of cord cutters think they have too many services and plan to cut back, according to a new study. But what I think really is, it's good to have competition. It's good to have multiple streaming services to pick from, because it allows, in the free market, like cord cutting offers, not the monopolies you see with cable, it allows you to say, hey, the best will rise to the top, the worst will fall and fail. And we've already seen that. We've already seen some live TV streaming services shut down. So I'd love to know your opinion on this, which ones you think will be successful and more. So leave me a comment, let me know. Next up, we got some AT&T news, because AT&T has been breaking a lot of news. Now, right off the bat, the first story is AT&T is making it harder to cancel your phone and internet. Now, some people said, Luke, this really isn't making it harder. And I would argue different. AT&T has started contacting customers saying in July, if you cancel mid-cycle, so if your bill was last week, you cancel today, you forfeit the rest of your payment. So they'll just turn off your service when you ask them to, and you won't get any money back. In the past, they would prorate it. Say you're canceling today, and we'll credit you for whatever you didn't use. Now, AT&T is following the steps of Spectrum and others who says no. If you cancel the day after your bill payment, you will not get a refund. So you need to pay attention to when your bill rate or bill cycle is, when's your due date, and cancel just before that comes so that you minimize any money you've lost. I would argue that this makes it more difficult to cancel, because in the past you could cancel whenever you want and just get a refund on what you didn't use. Now you need to be more strategic, more careful to say, I'm going to cancel on this day so I don't accidentally overpay. The tough thing is you probably want to get the new service installed before you cancel the old one. And that's where the tough part comes in, because you're hoping a third-party company will show up at a time that's effective for you, so you're not paying for two TV bills. So let me know if you got this notification. It's going out to AT&T home internet and phone customers out there right now. But I would argue that this makes it more difficult, because it does make it easier for AT&T and others. And the reason they're doing it is that they can keep some of your money without offering you service, and it's just profit for them. All right, next one up. AT&T CEO basically wants you to cancel. So this week, speaking at the JP Morgan Chase conference, he was talking to investors, so keep that in mind. He's trying to talk up investors at the moment. Basically said that yes, DIRECTV Now and AT&T losses will continue, and that these are what they want. They want to get rid of these customers. These are what they call low revenue customers. These are people who are paying for the very basic plans. AT&T wants them to cancel because they're not making that much money on them. AT&T seems to be saying, hey, we're going to go for the Apple model. I think somebody left a comment about that. It's a great example. We're going to go for that very high-end, very profitable market. I think that's a bad analogy, because Apple can say, hey, here's a physical product that's different from what everybody else does. Problem with DIRECTV and DIRECTV Now is their product really isn't that much different than what everybody else is doing. ESPN, when I start playing it, looks the same on DIRECTV Now as it does on PlayStation View and Sling TV and YouTube TV. The channel content is the same across all these. What's different is maybe the DVR, and some people, the argument is DIRECTV Now's DVR any better than PlayStation View or YouTube TV? The user interface. Is DIRECTV Now's user interface any better than YouTube TV or PlayStation View? Is DIRECTV Now's or DIRECTV's interface any better than Comcast or Spectrum in the markets where they're competing? And I would argue that in the end of the day, it may be slightly different, but it's not different enough to say, hey, DIRECTV is our premium TV service. Very interesting. Of course, it's a spin, but he said we're going to continue to lose subscribers throughout the year as we target customers who are highly profitable, who are looking for packages that are highly profitable right at the top. So my question to you is, what do you think of his plans? Does this surprise you? Do you see DIRECTV Now as a premium type service? Leave me a comment, let me know. I'll love to hear from you. All right, everybody, that's it. It's been a long week for me traveling. I'm very excited for the weekend. I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe, have some fun. Hopefully the weather's going to be good wherever you may be. And take care, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for our weekly recap. Don't forget about the podcast going live today. And check back on Monday for more cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and reviews right here at Cord Cutters News YouTube channel.